Yo yo yo, we got 2 new cards, one of which is absolutely insane, giving us multiple new 1-card combos, which wasn't a thing before in Galaxy Eyes, and improving almost every 2-card combo to make a board only our 3-card combos could do before. Let's start by going over the new cards. The best one is Photon Jumper. Insane card. This one allows us to have multiple 1-card combos. It also makes 100 a lot better. First of all, what it does, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a back row, a Photon or a Galaxy back row. It's not like archetype locked to Galaxy like Wizard. It can search both, but only back row. So what you can do, what this means, is that 100 becomes rotor for back row, and it becomes setup. You can do crazy stuff like 100, send Jumper, search Trance, activate Trance, special summon Jumper, special summon Wizard, make Galaxy Photon Dragon, and then continue on from there. Go with Summoner revive Wizard effect search, like out of a single card. You get so much plus. Your endboards go crazy, like 2 new card combos. You have new card combos like Soldier and Jumper, Jumper and Vanisher, Jumper and Thresher, Jumper and Wizard, Jumper and 100, everything. Like, for example, also stuff like Soldier and Wizard is like a really strong endboard. Soldier and Wizard ends on Soul, Lord, 100 with 2 extra deck banishes, and Star Leech. Under Star Leech is Jumper, so you have follow up, and your whole board is additionally protected by X. So you have double protection for everything, and board is almost uncrackable. You have follow up, you have disruption. Amazing. And it's absolutely correct. Stuff like Thresher, Vanisher. Amazing. Like Thresher, it appears to do nothing, but it combos with everything. Like Thresher and Orbital, Thresher and Jumper, Thresher and Vanisher, Thresher and Wizard. And it all use the new card Jumper. Amazing card. It also has a battle fader effect, but kinda irrelevant. So in like a minute, I'm gonna show you the new 1-card combos we have and a few of the 2-card combos, including Jumper. Jumper is so good, like he doesn't seem like a normal summon, but it's still amazing to open. Not only with Soldier, but with every other card. Like with Wizard is amazing too, because you can Wizard search Soldier, and Soldier discard Jumper, Jumper triggers. Soldier searches something, Jumper searches 100 mills Emperor summon, extra normal summon, the Summoner, revive the Wizard, use Wizard again. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, next card is Last Hope Numbers. Reborns 2 and summons a number from the extra deck with those monsters, but you can only summon once after that from your extra deck. This card is a bit whack. We already have Trance, which does almost the same thing, but a bit better. It gets you 1 from grave, 1 from deck. You don't have to summon a number with them. You can do like a soul play with those. In addition to that, Trance is a bit better to open, because you only need a Photon in the graveyard, while Last Hope Numbers needs 2 monsters and like 2 level 8s on top of that, because we don't have a number rank 4. So I'm not really certain if we should play it, but Last Hope Numbers it helps with deck building, because the problem we had earlier before I was playing double Trance. The reason is you use 1 Trance during your combo, and another Trance, you search another Trance as backup. But you easily go through all your Galaxy level 8 monsters, and the second Trance was dead. Like, you summon 2 Photon Dragons from Afterglow, you search 1 from Vanisher, so you already have 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons, and Afterglow is a combo piece. So you have no Galaxy Eyes targets for the second Trance. So what Last Hope Numbers helps with is that you don't need a Galaxy level 8 monster in deck anymore. So what this allows you to do is you can cut Brave, you can cut Knight, you don't need additional 8s. The only 8s you need, Galaxy 8s you need are Photon Dragon and Afterglow. That's it. And then you have last stop numbers you can search as follow-up. Yeah. Another thing is, I've cut all the consistency cards, like you have no more Swall World, you have no pots, like Pot of Prosperity was a good choice before. But the thing is, with the addition of Jumper and stuff like 100 becoming a one-card combo, we have now a consistency rate of over 90%. Like, that's better than a few meta decks. We don't break anymore. Of course, you can still draw like an unlucky hand where you get stopped by a single Ash, but it won't happen very often anymore. And breaking is very, very hard. It's not as before because you have one-card combos. Yeah. Spoken of combos enough. Now I'm gonna show you 2 or 3 one-card combos and a few 2-card combos. Let's start with the first one-card combo. It's Foolish Burial. It's the best one, but also the rarest one because Foolish is just a one-off. We start by using Foolish, sending our new Jumper. Jumper effect, searches Galaxy Trance, use it, summon Jumper and Wizard. Now we can make Galaxy Photon Dragon. Important here, detach Wizard and search for Summoner. There he is. Add to hand. Normal summon him. Use this effect. Revive Wizard. Then we use Wizard and search for 100. 100 sends Emperor now. We have an extra normal summon now. Then we go into Soul with these 2. Soul effect, give us back our Wizard. Normal summon him. Use Wizard. Now we can search Afterglow directly, or you can search Expedition. Doesn't really matter. Go for Expedition. Summon Soldier if you want an extra body on board. You don't need to do this step, but it's a better follow-up. Search Afterglow. An Afterglow effect. Summon himself. And make Lord. So what you can do now is during your opponent's turn you can negate an opponent's monster effect with Lord. Detach Afterglow. Afterglow will summon a Galaxy as Photon Dragon from deck, which will trigger 100, and you can banish 1 card out of your opponent's extra deck or steal 1 card. Like banish Zeus makes it hard to crack a board, or banish or steal a Baguska, really strong play. One thing I wanted to mention in between is you might have noticed that I am having Eternal Galaxy in my main deck. That's because the next one card combo and the one after that needs it to make Lord, but those combos work a bit differently if you open a single light monster, so you can easily cut Eternal Galaxy. I'm just having it in here to showcase, because the next combo is 1 Galaxy 100, but 1 Galaxy 100 and any light monster does the same thing as Foolish Burial. So you don't really need Eternal Galaxy. It helps if you get stuck and can just make a Galaxy Photon Dragon, then you can make turn the Photon Dragon into a Lord. Okay, so we start with 100. Next 1-card combo. And 100 as before, sends Jumper. Jumper effect. Search Trance. Now we use it, summon Jumper. And this time we summon Summoner from deck. Use both, make Soul. And Soul recover Summoner. Normal summon it. Revive Jumper. Now you turn both into Photon Dragon. And he searches Eternal Galaxy. Really important. Detach Summoner here, so you can keep the Jumper under it and have follow up when you negate something with Lord by detaching him. Okay, and during your opponent's turn, you use Eternal Galaxy and turn the Photon Dragon to Lord. Here you don't get 100 banish, but you have follow-up. But I want to show you something. If you have 100 and any light monster, let's say just Galaxy's Photon Dragon, this, the combo can be played as the one before. So you start by activating 100 and sending Jumper. Use Jumper. Set Straws. Then go through the whole line again. This time you summon Wizard, as with the Foolish Barrier combo. Go for Photon Dragon. Now Photon Dragon, detach Wizard, and search Summoner. As before, Summoner, revive Wizard. And now we use Wizard. Usually he would search 100 and send Emperor to get an 8. This time you can't do it, and you can't use Expedition because you don't have a level 8. Galaxy Photon Dragon can't manipulate Summoner because he was normal summoned, and it only manipulates special summoned monsters. So what we do is we search for Soldier. Now we have a discard. You need the discard for this. Soldier, discard Photon Dragon, summon itself. Chaining 1 Soldier to search. Chaining 2 Photon Dragon, 1 Soldier to turn it into level 8. And you search for Afterglow. Now you go into Soul Flare. And I would either you get back Summoner, so you follow up, but I would choose the Photon Dragon. Afterglow, and here you make Lord. So this, just by 100 and any light monster, gets you Sol and Lord. This Afterglow is protected, this Lord is protected by its own effect, and you get 100 banish. And during your opponent's turn, you already have the discard for the Sol, so you can use Photon Lord to search for last 100 numbers. Or the new Revive 2 spell, so you have amazing follow-up. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Okay, the last 1-card combo we got is just a Wizard. This one is the weakest one, it just ends on a single Lord, and that's it. Use Wizard, search 100. And then you go for a very simple play, 100 mill Jumper, and as before, search Trance. Now we use Trance on Jumper and summon from deck. I would suggest summoning a Wizard because you can search the Summoner later as follow-up. But it doesn't really matter because you can also use the Soul to recover a summoned Summoner. Okay, now you go for Photon Dragon effect, detach wizard, and search for eternal galaxy. Set it and pass. And during the opponent's turn, use eternal galaxy and turn the Photon Ring into a lord. Downside of this combo, you don't trigger 100 and you don't have soul. You just have the lord negate and follow up with jumper. That's it. So that's by far the weakest one card combo, but it's a one card combo nonetheless. Now let's look at a few 2-card combos, including jumper in the combo line or in the starting hand. So we start off with jumper and vanisher, and this one is really good. So normal summon jumper, special summon vanisher. In this case, vanisher can also be orbital, of course. Like orbital is always kind of a combo piece. We turn those two into Photon Ring. Use Photon Ring, detach jumper, and you search for soldier here. And now jumper will trigger, and jumper will search for 100. Then you go for 100 effect and send your Emperor. Emperor effect revives. Now you have an extra normal summon. And then you discard the Photon Dragon, special summon the Soldier effect, and you chain the Photon Dragon to make Soldier level 8. Soldier here searches wizard there. Okay, normal summon wizard effect, search Tors. Do it Tors. Special Photon Dragon we have in the grave now, and Afterglow. Now you can overlay these two for your X, so you make Cypher, and then you make Cypher X. Cypher X effect, detach Afterglow, Afterglow effect, summon another Galaxy as Photon Dragon from deck. Then you make Sol with Cypher X and Galaxy Photon Dragon, because you don't need them anymore. And the Sol adds back Afterglow. You can special summon the Afterglow and go ahead, make Lord here. You can make this Lord very early in the combo, like don't let those two stay up, just make Lord. And these two can go for Titanic Galaxy. Important here, a little bit of a misplay I did here. You can trigger 100 here, so you get one exotic banish because you summoned Galaxy as Photon Dragon. You can do that before, even when you activate Tors summons Photon Dragon, use 100's effect. You should, if you make Lord early, you're missing out on one additional exotic banish by 100, because now what I would do is summon the number 38 here. Downside of this is 38 doesn't detach to negate a spell, so you don't get to detach Afterglow, which would summon another Galaxy as Photon Dragon. So this is a bit weird, but if you want to risk a bit more, you just leave those two on the field and then use Afterglow and Emperor to summon Lord. So during your opponent's turn you can activate Lord to negate effect, detach afterglow, summon another Galaxy Photon Dragon, trigger 100, banish another opponent's extra deck card. So this is one pop, one monster negate, one spell negate. Your whole board, all your monsters are untargetable by light, untargetable by card effects until the end of your opponent's turn, and this Lord can't be destroyed because it has a Photon as material. So this is a really tough board, like untargetable. It's very hard to crack this board, and you have 3 disruptions against your opponent. Additionally, you have follow-up because you have Emperor. If you detach Emperor or Emperor goes to the grave, because Photon Lord goes to the grave, Emperor will revive itself. And you get another Galaxy Photon Dragon from deck because of Afterglow. So amazing combo. If we treat each of those as disruptions, we have 5 disruptions out of 2 cards and follow-up, and our board is targeting protected, 1 card is destruction protected by card destruction. And look at the stat line, 3k, 3k, amazing. So what I would suggest, what you banish with 100 is Zeus. If you see they have a Zeus, banish it, because this is the only out. They make an XE, or don't even, they just attack into an XE, make an XE, make Zeus, and then this outs your board. Like if they have like Dark Ruler no more, and then they make Zeus, it still can out the board because it doesn't target obviously. And Dark Ruler no board doesn't stop the targeting protection from X, by the way. So always use 100, look at the opponent's extra deck, and then you can see what they play. Like if you see they play a deck that doesn't really use spells, you don't really need to make 3080, you can do something else. So just banish the Zeus, and then use the second banish to steal a Baguska if they have one, or just banish another important card, like against Tyr you would banish Kid Kalos if they only play 1. If they play 2, you maybe use the first 100 to banish Kid Kalos number 1 and the second one to banish Kid Kalos number 2. Okay, for the last 2 card combo we have a combo that doesn't start with Jumper, but it uses Jumper in its line and shows how it improves combos before. Like before this was just Lord and Soul, I think. Now it's way more. Use Soldier, discard Wizard, summon Soldier. Soldier effect, search for Summoner. Normal summon. And revive Wizard. Now use Summoner effect to make Soldier level 4. And use those 2 to make Galaxy Photon Dragon. Detach Soldier and search for Vanisher. Vanisher effect, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Photon Dragon, make Vanisher level 8. Wizard effect, search for 100. Go for 100 and send Jumper. Then Jumper searches for Expedition. Effect Expedition, summon Emperor. Now you have an extra normal summon. Now you go with those into the X play, so you make X. Then you make Cypher X, after you make the usual Cypher. Detach Emperor. Emperor effect. Summon itself. Now you make Sol with X and Galaxy Photon Dragon as before. And grab back your Wizard. Normal summon Wizard. And search your Trance, which you didn't use yet. Activate Trance. some Jumper and the Wizard. Use those two to make Star Leech. And Star Leech effect. Summon this guy. Now you can trigger 100, banish one card from your opponent's extra deck, and here you make Sol. So this is an endboard of Sol, Lord, and Star Leech. They are all targeting protected by X, and these two are targeting and destruction protected by Star Leech. Additionally, you get 2 banishes from hand. One because you summon Galaxy as Photon Dragon during your combo, and the other is because you detach Photon Dragon from Galaxy as Photon Lord or discard it with Sol to disrupt your opponent. And what you do then is use the second effect of Star Leech, the hidden effect, and revive a Galaxy as Photon Dragon, which will trigger 100 again. So this board, it lacks a spell negate, like the 2-card combo before, but it's additionally hard to crack. If they can't out this, and you banish your Zeus, they can't out the board, or against back row decks, this is really hard to deal with, because they can't target anything, and then if you start your turn again, everything you have is like targeting and destruction protected because of Star Leech. I hope the video was helpful and shows how much Photon Jumper catapults the deck forward. 1-card combos, 2-card combos are insane now. The 1-card combos are really good. You have more spots for generic cards. You have additional starters because you have Foolish and Jumper combos with everything else, and 100 is basically a starter now. To the generic cards, I would suggest Bell, because right now the Bestials are running around, and the Bestials, if they banish your Emperor, that's like really unlucky, or your trance target, then it would be good to prevent that, and you can do that with Bell. And Imperm is just generically good if you have another thing, you play against a lot of floodgates on your locals, just take this out to back row here. And Coldbuy is for shifter mainly. Yeah, nothing more to say. Have fun and bye.